Peace be with you. I'm Olu, and I want to discuss the situation currently revolving around Dave Chappelle. For those of you who don't know, Dave Chappelle is a renowned comedian, possibly one of the most respected comedians in the black community. And he recently released a special, I believe it's called The Closer, and I haven't watched it, but from what I can infer, he made some jokes or some statements about transgender people, and some people are not happy about that. Now, certain LGBT groups are calling for Dave Chappelle's special to be removed from Netflix. The president of Netflix has refused. He's standing by Dave Chappelle. Now, what I really want to highlight is something that I've seen in recent years, and that is how the LGBT community has sort of latched on to the black community when it benefits them without truly offering the support that we need. And I say this because when you look back at the real outbreak, the tipping point of the Black Lives Matter movement, it was, of course, the tragic murder of George Floyd and the months of worldwide protests that followed. In that time, it seems like the LGBT community saw the progress the black community was making. They saw the changes and the acknowledgement that was coming from all sides. And rather than just support like other groups, they decided to latch on, to attach themselves to the black community, to that identity, and somehow portray the image that the black community and the LGBT community are synonymous. You can literally look at flags, pride flags, where it's the gay rainbow, the trans pink, white, and light blue stripes, and then a black stripe and a brown stripe. For who? For me. For me? Please, someone explain what an African person's racial identity has to do with somebody's sexual identity. Please explain what my struggles as a black person have to do with this community and the way that they want society to function. Yes, both groups go through things. Yes, both groups have their struggles, but they are separate groups with separate missions, separate struggles, separate identities, and separate missions. The trans community is directly aligned with with the gay community. So if you have a rainbow flag with the trans stripes, yeah, sure. But there is nothing inherently related between the LGBT community and the African or African American community. So the fact that you have black and brown stripes representing Africans on your flag, it seems like they're literally taking ownership. I mean, it seems absurd, but it feels like they're taking possession of the black civil rights movement, of the progress that we are trying to create for our community in order to use it for their advantage. If you don't believe me, take a look at these P&G commercials that came out during the civil unrest of June and July 2020.
Who said that?
The lady at the store.
That is not a compliment.
It's an ugly, nasty word, and you are going to hear it. Nothing I can do about that. But you are not going to let that word hurt you.
You got your ID? Yeah. Guess I stopped you.
Good. Now, when you get pulled over...
I'm a good driver. Okay?
Baby,
Don't worry.
this is not about you getting a ticket. This is about you not coming home.
I'm gonna be okay. Right? Okay.
You are not pretty for a black girl. You are beautiful, period. Okay? Don't ever forget that.
I feel guarded.
Judgment.
It's fear of rejection.
I pause when I'm about to encounter someone new.
Hello, this is Joe, my roommate.
Airport security, going through customs.
With my coworkers, clients.
I feel like I have to not touch her, like in the grocery store.
It's nonstop.
It changes how I navigate the world sometimes, but I can't change who I am.
Makes me feel resentful. They miss out on me at the end of the day.
That's the worst part.
I would love to have that moment where I don't have to pause.
This is Joe. This is my partner of 37 years.
Flight. Openness.
Maybe we could just be ourselves.
I could just show up as my true self without having to explain who I am.
Now, what you see is P&G made a very intelligent and insightful ad about the issues that Black people face, and then felt the need to make a similar ad for the gay or trans community. Now, if that's what they want to do, that's cool, but the two are not inherently related. And it seems as though when the chips are down, a situation like right now, when Dave Chappelle, who has the unanimous support of the Black community, like Dave Chappelle is somebody who is good in every hood. He has clout and respect amongst virtually every Black community. And so when you ask, do Black people want to cancel Dave Chappelle? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're not canceling Dave Chappelle. But the trans community that supposedly, or the LGBT community that supposedly stood by us as our most ardent supporters, they're trying to tear this man down. Dave Chappelle has been advocating for the Black community for years. In his recent specials, the primary thing he talks about is racial issues. And I'm pretty sure when I watch this special, I'll see him talking about the same thing and advocating for Black people. But that advocacy doesn't matter to the LGBT community as soon as something offends them. What it shows is that they are truly for themselves and not for us. And that's whatever. Be for yourselves, but stop pretending that you're for us. Stop taking our group, our struggle, our identity, and our progress and using it as your own. I saw people of every race and religion out marching during 2020. Black people, white people, Hispanic people, Jews, Muslims, Hindus, Asians. I saw some Satanists out there. I'm gonna dive into that one later. But none of those groups felt the need to take that Black identity and make it their own, to take possession. Putting that black and brown stripe on your flag, it looks like support. But what it really is saying that anything, it's forcing association. It's forcing association between your group and the Black community. So now, anytime somebody considers what can we do for the Black community, you can say the gay community is aligned here. The gay community has to be considered as well when you're thinking of doing anything for the Black community. You didn't see any Hispanic people saying, yes, we have our issues, but whatever the Black community is going through, we're there too. You didn't see that from even when the Asian community was having their movement earlier in the year. Because you're able to support groups without taking ownership. And quite frankly, in my opinion, take those stripes off your flag. Like that has been driving me livid for like over a year because it's so disingenuous. It's a marketing ploy to gain support because you can't argue against certain things in this day and age. And the gay community is trying to make sure that they are one of those things you can't argue against. Like, if you are openly racist, you are disavowed by most groups. By most groups, if you are openly racist. The gay community wants to make it the same. So if you disagree about issues of gender or sexuality or what we should be teaching our children, they want the exact same response, that you will be condemned and cast out of society. And so they're using the Black community and the progress that we've made and the validation that we have to further their own agenda. But the difference is, when somebody is racist, what they're saying is that I, as a black person, am not equal to you as a white person. They're saying that I maybe don't deserve to live. They're saying maybe I don't deserve to live in peace or without fear of being killed by the police, or without discrimination in employment and discrimination in housing and discrimination in so many other areas of life, without having my identity and character slandered and dragged through the mud in every form of media. The issues that black people face are different, and in my opinion, far more severe than the issues the gay community faces. Because when it comes to the trans community, what it usually comes down to is a difference in opinion. I don't believe that there are more than two genders. Because I am a minister. I opened up my Bible. The first thing God said about humans is, let us make man in our image. And in that same chapter, he says, male and female, he created them. So when you try to tell me that you're coy gendered or non-binary, that you don't align with this system that only has two genders, I don't agree that's how human beings work. But hey, do you? Like, this is America. You can believe what you want to believe about yourself. You can believe what you want to believe about gender, about humanity. Hey, it's whatever. But now you're trying to force me and everybody else to align with your thinking, or else you'll condemn us. You use this word transphobic to demonize anybody who does not agree with your doctrine on human gender or on human sexuality or on the very nature of human beings. That's basically every religion I can think of does not agree with you. So if we hold to our religious teachings, we're now bigots? Are we monsters now? Transphobic is a made-up word used to demonize and destroy anybody who disagrees with this one group. And at this point, I don't care. Like, you can call me transphobic. There are only two genders. I understand you may feel like a woman, but if you were born a male or assigned male at birth, that's the term people want to use, you are a male. You can believe you're a woman, that's fine, but you can't get me to call you a woman. I'll call you Sarah if you want, like, I'll call you whatever name you want, but you're not going to have me pretend that you're a woman. You're not going to have me dive into this fantasy with you and pretend that that's reality, because it's not. And you are absolutely not going to teach our children that your lies or that your perception is reality. And so what this Dave Chappelle thing reveals, in summary, is that the LGBT community is out to advance its own agenda. It has been using association with the black community and the black civil rights movement to advance that agenda and forcibly take legitimacy that comes from the black movement. Legitimacy that we gained through the dead bodies of our brothers and sisters. It was only after dozens of us were killed that the world finally started paying attention. And they've latched onto that attention, onto that validation in order to push their own agenda and associate themselves with, simply as if to say that what is right, but for this one group, means that whatever we claim is right for us is also right. And in this society, it's getting to the point where you are not allowed to disagree with the gay community, or else they'll fire you. They'll kick you out of college. They'll stop working with you. They'll literally try and ruin your career. They will demonize and slander you in the press. But something you're gonna learn real quick, you can't cancel everyone who doesn't like you or who disagrees with you. It's the 21st century. This is America. People are allowed to think what they want to think. Y'all tried to cancel J.K. Rowling. How'd that work for you? But you still love Harry Potter. And so do millions of people. So she's not going anywhere. And now y'all are trying to cancel Dave Chappelle. So you're going to see some people cannot be canceled. And it's going to be more and more people just standing up and saying, hey, I don't agree with this. I don't think that grown men should be allowed in the women's restroom. I don't think we should be telling this 4-year-old, hey, you might be a girl or a boy. It's all based on whatever you feel. That is one mindset. That's one opinion. That's one belief system. And you cannot portray it like it is universal and objective truth without any real evidence besides I feel this way. And so do, less than 4% of the American population and way less of the global population. I truly, truly think we are coming to a point where society is going to have to start saying no to certain things that the LGBT community wants. And when I saw drag queens in the public libraries teaching children, 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds, I realized that we are in the height of indoctrination, where the LGBT community is attempting to force their doctrine, their mindset upon the younger generation. They already have, which is why I guarantee when Gen Z sees this, that there are going to be people flaming me up in the comments. And that's fine, because y'all have been taught something since you were kids, so you believe it. But is it true? Do you have evidence that it's true? Do you have objective, real evidence that it's true? I'm a Christian. I'm a minister. I know God is real. I talk to him every day. I've seen people healed. I've seen God work miracles in my own body. I've seen him work miracles in my life. I've seen him work miracles in the lives of dozens of other people. I've heard testimonies of people who came back to life. Multiple people who died and came back to life. Some were dead for hours. Some were dead for days, and they rose from the dead by the power of God. I know God is real. I have evidence. He's proved himself. Do you have proof? Because despite all the proof and evidence I have, if I want my kids to learn about my belief system in school, I got to send them to private school. You want our kids, and I don't have kids yet, but you want our children, the children of America, to learn your belief system, your opinion, your thoughts on things, and your ideas about human nature in public school as if it is universal and irrefutable truth without any real evidence. That's crazy. And we cannot do this. And so I'm going to close like this. Every human being has a right to feel how they want to feel, to do what they want to do, to sin if they want to sin. We all have free will, and in this country we all have the freedom of expression. But you cannot force people to agree with you and demonize and destroy them when they disagree. So, closing statement, I stand with Dave Chappelle, and I pray that Netflix special does not get removed. Everybody, please leave your questions or comments or even your arguments against me or why I'm wrong in the comments. I want to create a real dialogue about this situation because too many people are afraid to speak up. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and follow Olu Speaks on all platforms. Stay blessed.